The Bucks are coming off their first championship in 50 years, but if you ask Kevin Durant, it won't be their last. Speaking ahead of Team USA's Olympic debut, Durant went on record that Milwaukee could be the team to beat for the near future, saying, quote, Milwaukee is forming somewhat of a dynasty with that team. I know it's the first chip, and a lot of people call you a dynasty after a few, but the continuity of that team is something that's impressive in how they continue to build and add, and now they're champions, and you can appreciate that. Shannon, what do you make of KD saying this?
KD, if James Harden is healthy and Kyrie Irving is healthy, do you still believe they have the pieces to be a dynasty?
Milwaukee?
Yes. No. Kevin Durant does not believe they would have beat them if Harden and Kyrie is healthy.
Definitely.
So we're not even having this discussion.
Okay.
A lot of people believe because Joel Embiid was hurt, Trae Young ended up getting hurt, Kawhi got hurt on the other side, Donovan Mitchell missed game, Jamal Murray missed game. Skip, it's hard for me to see after one, and we're talking about a dynasty?
Okay. Remember where Kevin is right now. He's in Tokyo as the clear-cut, the leader of our Team USA. And he is becoming a little more in his mind of an international basketball ambassador.
Okay.
I think he's trying to be on his best behavior and trying to be a little less controversial as he usually is.
You said that was a heck of an accomplishment. Okay. Giannis played unbelievable.
But remember, there was a qualifier in there because he was trying to say the nicest thing he could. They're becoming somewhat of a dynasty. Well, what is somewhat of a dynasty? I don't know. That's not a dynasty.
Yeah.
Well, he knows full well if a centimeter of his toe had not been on the line, he made one of the great clutch shots in the history of the playoffs.
I believe Skip, I believe he believes if James Harden is healthy, Kyrie's healthy, I won't even need that shot because we're going to beat you 4 straight.
Okay. Well, he also knows that basically by himself, he almost beat them in 7 games, right?
Yes.
But he's trying to make a point that on continuity, they are something. And I'll buy that because, hey, are they not set up because of contracts? They're paying a lot of money to 3 players, but they are in the fold.
Yes.
They are guaranteed to be yours.
We got these on our rep, and here's the thing, Skip. You got Giannis, who's the superstar, clear-cut guy, but Chris Middleton is the closer. Yeah. And Giannis has no problem.
Okay, so that fits.
Yes.
Drew Holiday fits on both ends of the floor. You don't talk about a perimeter defender. He changed the series by what he did to Chris Paul defensively.
Yes.
So you have 3 of them.
Right.
And because of that, does that not make you a perennial or, like the next, let's do 5 years contender in? Yeah,
they're going to be contenders, but I don't think that, Skip, I don't even know. I mean, winning back-to-back might be a thing of the past. In football, it's almost non-existent that we get back-to-back champs. Now, we've seen, there's only been a handful of teams, probably less than 10 in the 50-plus year history to win back-to-back because it's so hard. Now, we've seen it more in basketball, Skip, but the way teams are gearing up and the movement that we have, I believe it's going to be harder and harder for teams to win 2 in a row. Now, 3, I don't see anybody doing what Shaq and Kobe them last did, 99, 2000, 2001. I don't even see that happening, Skip.
Unless the Clippers could stay healthy.
Oh, stop. See, there you go. Now, you know good. Hold on. The Clippers hadn't even been to
They got to their first conference final
in 50 years.
Ever. Yeah. Beautiful.
And now you talking about they're going to be a dynasty? Win 3 in a row?
But I'm loving this new KD, the leader, the spokesman, the ambassador.
Now, see, LeBron has said that. That's not what you saying. Why is LeBron suck it up? What LeBron has found out that he's a thing of the past. Giannis is the new guy on the block, and he's trying to take attention away. That's what you would have said.
Who are you talking about?
Goat James.
Oh, Lagon. Oh, that guy.
I know who you're not talking about.
Why isn't he playing for Team USA?
Hold on, time out.
Well, come on.
You want a man to go over it on the bum?
So he sacrificed Team USA for a movie?
Skip the movie. Skip. Now, you know that man shot that movie a couple years ago.
He did. Yeah, he did.
You didn't say that about...
But this was the opening.
Hold on. What about Jordan? He shot during 96. Why did he go to the Olympics in 96? He shot Space Jam 96, and they were playing the Olympics right there in Atlanta. He wouldn't have had to go nowhere. He just stayed in the state. Why did he do that?
He wasn't playing basketball.
Yes, he was.
Playing baseball.
Skip. He came back in 95 and lost to...
We're wrapping it up because the Cowboys have their first practice today in Southern Cal. Will they be the last team standing as well? Don't go anywhere.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy, and I won't back down.
Night. The Greek Freak ported 50 points, grabbed 14 rebounds, and hustled for 5 blocks to bring Milwaukee the title. And maybe even more impressive for Giannis here, he went 17 of 19 from the free throw line. He's just the 7th player to score 50 points in a finals game and the first to have at least 50 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Those numbers. Shannon, was this the greatest finals performance ever?
Skip, I tweeted last night as one of the 5 greatest finals performances that I believe I've seen. Like I said, Skip, look, I know there's some finals where we'll have like 30, 40 rebounds and things like that, Skip, but I don't go back that far. I can only go back to 77 because I can remember when the Sixers lost to the Portland Trail Blazers. But for me, the greatest performance that I think I've seen, it was tape delay, was Magic Johnson. I can't put it ahead of Magic Skip because Magic was 20 years old. He played all 5 positions. Kareem was out. I think he had an ankle injury, and he was out. He jumped center. So he played the guard point, the 2 guard, the power forward, the small forward, and the center position. He had 42, 15, 7, 3 steals and a block. He was 14 of 23, a perfect 14 of 14 from the foul line. I can't put it in front of that stat line, but I did put him in second, Skip. 50, 14, and 5. Since 1973-74, no player had ever gone 40-plus 14 with a stat line what Giannis put up last night. Another performance that I saw, and I know you will like this one, was Tim Duncan's almost quadruple-double against the Nets. And all these, Skip, these were closeout games. That's what, and Magic was on the road. See, Magic, I gave Magic also credit, Skip, because he was on the road. He was in a hostile environment. And so for him to do that. Now, I love LeBron, the game 7 against the Spurs, but I can't put it above these 3. Now, Jordan had some games. I mean, I know you're going to probably say his game 6, his walk-off, but he didn't shoot. I got these 3 I would put in my top 5.
You just swept Michael Jordan's Game 6 right under your little rug over there?
Skip, he had 1 assist and 1 rebound.
Okay. It is my turn. There is only one answer to this question, just as there's only one answer to the GOAT question, and it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I was there. I was at courtside. I know the magnitude. I know the stakes. Game 6 at Utah, and this is what you have to remember. And again, I'm not going to discount Magic's performance because it was very special. Real quick on Magic before I go back to Jordan. One of my all-time favorite quotes was uttered once upon a time by a Cowboys offensive lineman named Blaine Nye, before your time, went to Stanford. And it was after the Thanksgiving Day game in which Clint Longley replaced an injured Roger Staubach, I don't know if you remember this, and beat Washington with a late touchdown pass to Drew Pearson. And Blaine Nye's line was about Clint Longley. It was the triumph of an uncluttered mind. Meaning it's just a kid thrown into the fire, and he just didn't know better.
Right.
Well, I felt like Magic at, what was he, still 20? I feel like there was some triumph of an uncluttered mind because he just went out and had fun and played every position on the floor and took over a Game 6 at Philadelphia. But in that format, in that year, they did have Game 7 in their back pocket back in L.A. if necessary.
Right.
Now back to Jordan, 1998. This is not a triumph of an uncluttered mind because his mind was extremely cluttered because it's the end of the Last Dance documentary that we just saw during the pandemic. And what is happening is Michael knows it's his last game before he's going to be forced into retirement because Phil Jackson is going to be forced out the back door by the 2 Jerrys, Krause and Reinsdorf. So Michael knows this is it. But worse, he knows he has no help on this night because Scottie Pippen not only has flu-like symptoms before the game, that's what I was told, but he's got a bad back. And he hurt it early in the game, and he ended up playing 26 minutes, but he scored 8 points with 3 rebounds and 4 assists. So the guy who was usually at least
his sidekick.
Yeah, at least he was Tonto to the Lone Ranger. At least he was Robin to Batman. Well, Robin wasn't there that night. Okay, so it's Michael or bust against a really good team that tied them for regular season record at 62-20, a team that was 36-5 at home, a team featuring a John Stockton at point guard who still is the all-time assist leader, and a Karl Malone. You could argue he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, power forward who is still second.
Number 2 behind Tim Duncan.
He's
number 2 behind Tim Duncan.
You can go back.
But back then, he was the number 1. Yes, I give you that.
For me, Tim Duncan is not a power forward. He's a center, but that's just me. Okay, but whatever. But the point is, Karl Malone, as we speak, week is still second in all-time scoring to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he's still 1,561 points ahead of your man. And your man will probably catch him. I'm knock on wood.
Yeah, we got him this year.
You got him this year. Well, I'm knocking on wood that he stays healthy, because now you're to the point in your career where you're going to have to fight health. Because Father Time's just tapping you on the shoulder. You know, you are human. You are mortal, LeBron, right?
We missed 50 games basically in the last 3 years.
Okay, so 1,561 more points, and you get to number 2 on the list. And I know LeBron's ultimate goal is Kareem. It's possible, it's doable, but it's still a long, long way to go. Okay, so back to Karl Malone. So you're up against John Stockton and Karl Malone in their house in Salt Lake City, and you don't have your co-star, your second star, and you end up playing 44 minutes. Your usage rate is a record 55%, because you just said, give me the ball and get out of my way. And you score 45 of the 87 total points that it took to win this game. So it's a low-scoring game. It's a defensive battle, and you score 45 of 87. And I give you the no rebounds, no assists, because he didn't. He just said, I'm going to score the basketball.
You're like, Rodman, y'all handle that.
Okay, you handle that. So he goes for 45 points, but